Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to talk about two things today, which are completely unrelated, but they kind of relate when it comes to me. So, um, I wanted to talk first. I wanted to talk about my hair. For those who don't know me, I've always had issues with trying to do stuff to my hair. That's why oftentimes you've seen me with like ponytails and stuff like that because that's the only thing that I really know how to do. Or somebody else doing my hair, or maybe a wig, but those are things I don't know how to do. This is what I attempted to do to my hair, and it turned out looking pretty good. So I know that's one thing I could do with my hair. But my hair has always been a challenge because if you see some of my ponytails that my hair falls out around the perimeter, but it's very, very thick in the middle. Um, and I remember when I was in the hospital with my first lupus flare, my hair fell out like crazy. Like I remember I was laying in the hospital bed and seeing piles of hair all over my pillow in the hospital bed. So just the fact that I actually have, a healthy head of hair and no patches, no, I mean, besides my edges or my perimeter being a little thin, I don't have any patches or anything because when I first got diagnosed, I had patches of hair missing. My hair was really, um, like really short to the point you couldn't grip it around the perimeter. The middle was thinning, but as I started getting better, my hair started getting better. Um, but I still struggle with trying to do things with it to make it look presentable and things like that. It's just hard because, like, I don't know how to braid, and when I try to learn how to braid, my fingers start to cramp up, or I probably can only do two braids, and I can't do them tight because my fingers really start to cramp up. But um I've tried like trying to do things that I can do on my own. So this is one thing that I can do on my own. I did it with bantu knots. So basically just sectioned my hair, twisted it, and then knotted it up and kept the knots in for a few days, which works right now because I'm not really going places right now. Um, I actually just took them out to see how they would look. I'm probably gonna put them back in tonight because I have to go to the doctor tomorrow. Um, and just a quick side note about that is I'm really nervous about my appointment tomorrow because I'm going to see a new doctor. And I don't know if I mentioned in another video, but I'm not really cool with keep switching doctors because then I have to explain all my history and have them get to know me and all that stuff. And I don't feel like all that. I just want to be able to address my issues in the appointment and keep it going. So now I'm gonna have to talk to this doctor and explain to my issues and hope they don't try to sway away from the treatment plan I started with my last doctor. But back to the topic at hand. So I just wanted to mention my hair because that's a big thing people with lupus struggle with is, their hair thinning, hair falling out, um, things like that. And I've struggled with that as well. Although from the looks of my hair, you can't tell. But I've definitely had struggles with my hair falling out, my hair thinning. Um, people commenting, "Oh, your hair used to be so much longer." Blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, yeah, but my body has been through a lot, and my hair has too. So, yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention, which I know is unrelated, um, I was watching a video actually, a YouTuber that I watch, named Candice Laurie. She was talking about her experience with COVID, and I realized that I haven't really mentioned how COVID has been for me. Um, I mean, we've been in COVID time for the past, I'm guessing, maybe like year and a half, 2 years. And um, so I feel like it first hit around like November, December of the year before, the year prior. And I remember um, around December, I was still working at my job. And I just remember COVID like decimating my unit, and I went down to like 8 patients on my unit, and it was like so surreal. It was like Christmas Eve, and we had like 8 patients when we normally have like 26. Like it was like the craziest thing ever, and that's when I started to realize that COVID was real. I'm not saying that I didn't think it was real at that time, but when like coworkers started getting sick, patients started getting sick, I was like, this is something that I have to be, cautious of. Um, Fast forward to, um, no, I think that happened maybe, so my memory's a little foggy, but I think that happened the December after I went out in May because COVID had hit so hard around my job. So I was out for maybe like 2 months during the start of COVID, and then in December when I went back to work, that's when all that stuff happened. I mean, I went back to work in like I think August, and so from August to December, it just started getting worse and worse. Um, just around me, people was dying, patients getting sick, coworkers getting sick, and I was so scared because me having autoimmune disease, I'm just like, if I get this, I might die. I don't know what this is going to do to my body, and I am afraid. Um, I remember the vaccine coming out in maybe like January or February, and they were saying, "Hey, we have the vaccine available for you guys if you want it." And I remember, there was so much backlash as to if people were going to take it or not. And I cleared it with my doctor. I was like, hey, like, is the vaccine safe for me to take? He's like, yes, I recommend you take it because if you get the virus, it might be more detrimental because you take immunosuppressive drugs because your immune system is not like everybody else's. It may be more detrimental to you. So I got it, and my symptoms were a little brutal on me and my body, but after I went through the vaccination period, um, I haven't really had any like COVID scares, but I still had like people around me, thinking they had COVID and not, and tests coming out negative, or maybe being past incubation period. I don't know, but and people around me dying. So I mean, I still was afraid to like go out and do things. The only thing I did was went to work, came home. So I was a little bit lonely. But I mean, the point of me mentioning just, COVID and having autoimmune disease is that, we're still not out of the park as far as COVID. So, yes, things are lightening up, and um, things are getting more people are getting vaccinated, and things are opening up, but you still have to be cautious that there are people who are not vaccinated, there are people who are walking carriers and are not necessarily being safe. And for somebody like me, I still have to think about it. Like, I haven't really introduced any new people into my circle because I don't know, what is their COVID experience, who they've been around. And yes, I'm vaccinated, but I mean, I've read in the news recently that they were saying you need a booster shot. So I don't know. I just don't want to even know what COVID would do to a weakened immune system like mine. um yeah, and I just want to be able to, I mean, yes, I do want to be able to live a life and not be afraid of, going out and getting sick. But unfortunately, that is our reality right now. So we just have to do our part, wash our hands, be safe, you know, try to stay away from people we know they may have symptoms. Um, a reason why I mentioned this is because I feel like as a society, we're getting more and more lax with COVID because more people are vaccinated, and that's a really good thing. But there are the people who are fighting against the vaccine and saying you don't know what the side effects are in the future, and that's a valid point as well. But it also makes you more susceptible to it, and especially because they have this new variant coming out. So just be mindful of your settings, being around people. I know, like this weekend was the first time I went to like a cookout with people I didn't know, and I mean, I felt a little bit nervous just being around a whole bunch of people I don't know and like pretty close quarters. But everything was okay, and I don't know. I'm still kind of nervous about being in crowds or a bunch of people, but I know that we still have to get back to what our normal was before this. So, yeah. So those, I know they seem to like unrelated topics, my hair and COVID, but it all relates to these things and how autoimmune disease affects you. Um, reason why, I mean, like I said, people with autoimmune disease tend to have, problems with their hair as far as like thinning, breakage, things like that. And they're just more susceptible to COVID. So I wanted to tie those two things together to, you know, spread awareness to different things in the autoimmune disease realm. So, as always, guys, if you have any comments or you want to, you know, y'all can give me some topics, ask me any questions in the comments. Maybe you have an idea for the next video, anything you want to know. Um, yeah, and I don't know if this is a thing people do, but I just want to thank YouTube for giving me a platform to be able to speak about this. Like, I don't know why I never thought about using YouTube as a platform before, but I'm just glad that I'm able to. And I know I've talked to some other people about using other platforms as well. Um, but I would also have to make longer content, and I'm struggling with, you know, the content I'm making now. So I'm gonna have to see about the other longer content. But for now, I'm gonna just continue with YouTube as my platform and keep making videos, and hopefully people watch them, especially people who are going through what I'm going through. I only make these videos to try to encourage whether you're going through any illness or autoimmune disease, or you have family members, or you just want to know more information. Um, so with that being said, thanks you guys and be blessed.